I'm running a little bit late. I started to write him a poem about how much I love and adore him, and I really got caught up and couldn't tear myself away. Be there very, very soon. Please, hold on, let me just read this here. Please tell Mike Mac to have the Destiny sound ready for when I arrive. Thank you.
Have it ready to go.
It's a message from Destiny.
Okay, so she said have it ready to go, and then she was in the middle of writing the poem for me, right?
Correct. Absolutely.
Okay, got you. Yes, well, as long as she's writing a poem, right? I mean, as long as she's doing something productive, where it's something that's going to benefit us, the listeners, where we can actually hear that kind of art. That's really, I think, the most important thing.
And
she sent me the first. To do with weather,
It's something to do with weather.
She sent me the first line. If you want me to read
it, that would be great. Did she BS that in there, or is that?
Yeah. It was slightly under it. I missed it because she sent a picture of your face with a big love heart.
Got you. And then the postscriptum was after that.
Exactly. Okay. So the first couple of lines, it says, Mike Mac, he's our man. If he can't do it, no one can. So let's look, as a lot of us are literary people in here, obviously, so let's break that down if we could. Like let's look and see if there's any kind of hidden meaning here. So let's start it off again. It started off with how again? If I'm not mistaken, Mike Mac, he's our man.
Okay, stop. Okay, let's say so Mike Mac twice. Am I correct with that?
100%.
Okay, so that's obviously she doesn't want it to be a throwaway, right? She doesn't want to just say anybody. She wants to make sure that we know who she's talking about, and she really wants to double down on it, for lack of better terms. Yes.
100%. And she capitalized man and did 3 underlines, which shows how she perceives you as a high tea man who can bend a boxing bag in half with a left hook. And that's what I take from
that's a lot to take from it. The fact that she said he's our man, as if she sees me as someone who belongs to the group per se. Am I overstepping there? Or?
No, that's exactly what it seems. Everybody knows that you're always there for support. You're like our leader. And people look at you because of your intelligence and cogency.
As they should. And that's understandable because of my experience as leading. Yes. Hold on a second. I just want
to. More to it though. His clap. It's Mike Mac. Love his face. Everybody in here share the space.
Everybody here share the space. Well, hold on a second. Hold on. I'm going to bring up Destiny real quick.
I actually think Destiny is being held hostage because that is definitely not a letter that she would write.
Well, we're not.
Look, literally a DM she sent me. She literally sent me the
DM. Before we look. This is not fair. We can't just take half the message and interpret that and then not listen. We have to take the last line, and I believe it was. Let's see, Hitch. I'm sorry if I don't remember the whole poem. So it was Mike Mac.
No one can.
Mike Mac. He's our man. If he cannot do it. Now, that is showing that she's confident, but not totally confident, right? Because she's not saying he will do it. He can do it. She's actually questioning if he can't do it. She believes it's like she believes in me, but not completely. Would that be?
See, this level of analysis, Mike, is why I agree with Chen. This would be like, if I'm ever in danger and I'm like, I really like Speaker Johnson, you guys. He's doing a good job. Right?
Mike,
I'm in distress. Like,
yes.
It's bad.
Yes.
Mike, I took it as a presupposition. Think about a task that Superman can't do, right? And she's equating you to being higher than Superman. We all know Superman can do anything. And if Mike Mac can't do it, then Superman can't even do it. So there's a presupposition in there.
I see what you're saying.
I think this is Hitch actually vying for Stephanie's co-host job or for Destiny's co-host job. Just saying.
I have to say,
I'm just reading the DM. Don't get angry at me. I'm reading.
DM. I was gonna say if anyone qualifies, it would be Hitch because dude holds really good spaces.
Look, there's no way that someone's just going to come up here, read a poem like that, and then all of a sudden just pop, right? Come on. I just put him there as because of my affection and affinity for him. But I do like the part where he said, Hitch, that if he can't do it, now watch this, nobody can. That's powerful.
That pause was everything.
That's a powerful line.
Brock just wrote you like a fancy poem. I'm not reading it. It was way too long.
Well,
maybe Destiny got the call back from the CIA at the front door. Where the hell is Destiny?
Destiny got called up by the CIA, and she's like, Mike, he's our man.
I
he
think
can't
Hit
do
Slap
it.
has her like locked in a bathroom somewhere and is trying to take her. He's trying to take her spot. I'm just
Well,
kidding.
look who's look who's here.
Destiny.
It's Destiny. She's here. Des, I just want to tell you before we kind of go over to the business of the day and stuff, guys, if y'all could just mute your mics and mute your headphones, actually earmuffs for just one second. I just want to talk to Des privately if I could. Hey, Hitch sent me the poem that you wrote, and it was lovely, absolutely lovely. And I just hold on. I just want to tell you that it means a lot to me that you see me like that. So I just want
Destiny,
to
the
say,
real ones questioned it. Don't worry.
thank you, because Destiny, you're right. I am our man, and I believe when it comes to doing it, I can. I believe that I can. So thank you for that. Welcome to the stage, Destiny. What's going on? Hitch read your poem to us, and it was quite lovely.
Okay, I think that came definitely from Destiny, but I'm pretty sure it's the podcaster weird guy. And it's weird, but maybe you should hit him back. You know, maybe it could be a beautiful thing. I'm in full support of you guys. I don't like him, but if you are, if you got his eyes on him, I will invite him into the friend group for your sake. So congratulations.
But Hitch Lab, you were talking about Destiny the girl, right? Not Destiny the future or Destiny the boy podcaster.
No.
Yeah, no, I literally have a DM from Destiny. I mean, as if the alternative is that I just lied on a recorded space, pretended that Destiny sent me a pod. That would never happen.
He might be getting back at you because of the EQ.
No, my account is clearly
27.
compromised. I have an
Oh,
imposter.
it could be EQ.
Destiny may have got
I
hacked.
told you the CIA got back to her. Now they're impersonating her.
The CIA, if
Check your
they're going to
two.
get anybody in here besides you and Dustin, it would be Destiny. And
Everyone knows
maybe a little
It's
savvy.
okay. We'll be running the prison jail before you know it. Don't worry.
And you know what?
Everybody
I
knows.
swear to God,
I would
Jen
never
will
make
be
anything
running a
up.
fucking prison jail.
Well, look,
I
if you got a
100% believe
DM
that.
from Destiny, if you got a DM from like the podcaster Destiny, you should answer, because judging by his personal life, there's no telling what he could be asking for.
Wow.
Slap him
Take
if you
one
get
for
your
the
hands on
team.
him.
Let's get all those fans and you take one for the team.
He might fly you over and,
Hey-oh.
how you doing?
No party like a Diddy party.
No party like a Diddy party. Tell me
No
about it.
party like a Destiny party. Oh, somebody meme that.
First of all, I want to say this. Let me just say this real fast. Look at this. I want everybody down there. I will obviously we'll rotate people. I want everybody to look at the stage. Actually, I'm gonna take a screenshot of this real fast, because I can honestly say, and I mean this in all. I love everybody up here on the stage. Absolutely incredible. I love everybody up here is fantastic.
Even
Everybody,
Not so much
everybody
Dustin.
needs
I'm
to
saying I didn't
pray.
say there weren't rankings. I just said in general.
everyone needs to pray, because apparently it's going to snow like 1.5 inches in Georgia, and like
Don't worry. Savvy has
just
her,
can't handle
her
herself.
Damn, he's
saw.
shots
No,
fired.
so
Go,
I'm
Kev.
Tractor Supply right now, fools. All right.
She just can't handle it. There's going to be 1 inch of snow on the ground, guys.
That's right.
Oh shit.
Look.
Did she buy a shovel?
No.
Did she buy boots? No.
No, I'm
Did she
here
buy
at Tractor
a
Supply
winter
now.
coat? No. She
Winter.
bought a snow saw.
I did.
Because apparently she's
Which is
vacationing.
really a drywall saw.
Apparently she's vacationing in the Arctic. She's like, she got to beat off penguins with definitely shouldn't have said it that way.
Yeah, that was kind of
Polar bears.
That'll
Fight
get
off
the snow out.
penguins.
Getting
I
ready
can't
for
delete the
Greenland.
image out of my head.
Listen, I am at Tractor Supply right now, so all of Tractor Supply is here in this space because your girl doesn't use headphones and or whatever you call those things, earbuds. But I am Tractor Supplying right now, you guys. You would be so freaking happy. Listen, Sally, I got a little buddy and a big buddy, and they got propane. Girl.
Wait.
There
So
you go.
everyone in Tractor Supply, time out. Everyone in Tractor Supply just heard me say you're going to beat off a penguin.
Yes,
She's beating off penguins, everybody.
that's right. Oh, yep. And now I can't mute because
Now Savvy has like 6 guys following her around the store.
Yes, she's got 6
you
guys
got
who
the
are
heater, buddy. Good job.
6 guys
Good
who are
job.
4'2".
Listen.
They're all 4'2", 330 pounds, just
No,
stumbling around.
listen, guys. She really needs someone to go shovel the inch of snow that's about to come. Okay, so like, let's be serious here. Savvy really needs a nice Georgia man to come plow her driveway.
She's gonna be out on the porch.
Damn, we went from beat to plow.
She's gonna be out there with table salt, like throwing it on the porch.
The weird thing is when she said that earlier, Kevin. She said about the snow saw being down here in Houston. I'm like, snow saws, huh? Wow.
Plow
Like,
or driveway?
I was like, do they
Somebody
use
say
the
that?
snow saws now? That's interesting.
Yeah, if you really want to upset somebody,
Listen,
just like
Luke from the
pass the
Outdoor
salt.
Boys says that snow. Thank you. Says that snow saws are a must-have.
He's just trying to get in your pants.
No,
Don't let him lie.
he's married.
No, Jen.
Jennifer.
Jen. Luke from the Outdoor Boys lives in Alaska.
Oh, I thought she said Luke from the outdoor store. I was like, Luke is definitely lying to you, bro.
store, but no, it is the Outdoor Boys channel.
However,
Should have gotten a
However,
budget.
Wait, is that the guy who told you to get a snow saw?
Yes, I'll get.
Oh, okay.
Yes,
Thank
yes.
you.
He goes out into like the Yukon and builds like survival shelters and like underneath 9 feet of snow. Savvy's out there with a dusting. Like there's probably more dust on my TV than you're gonna get snow.
No, it's not. It's not like that, you guys. This is serious snow business here. There ain't no business like snow business.
It's no business,
Savvy
you know.
also informed us that belly buttons are where the Yankees shot her. Just wanted to let everyone know that.
Wait, what?
Savvy told me that the people in Georgia refer to their belly buttons as where the Yankees shot them.
So
yeah.
so how did I get one?
And for Texas, it's where the Indians shot me.
Correct.
Yeah.
And for California,
just-
it's where the Democrats shot me.
You guys just do things differently in the South. Like
That's right. We sure do.
Believe it, baby.
Hold on,
There's no
Savvy,
doubt
what's
about that.
You mean we do things right?
Savvy, what's that AI tool that X has?
Grok.
Grok. Just checking where the A is in there. I'll be back.
Be quiet, Kevin.
So even though everybody
listen,
calls
this
it,
is
even
like-
though Elon calls it Grok, we're gonna go with Grok.
We're going with
and
Grok.
that's okay.
And this is
Nothing
my
wrong with
cousin's
that.
space. This is not a rag on Savvy's
That's
space.
correct.
So I'm
I
muting
mean,
you.
look. In fairness, because I said it the wrong way once, now I just keep calling it Gronk, like it's the tight end on the Patriots.
No,
But
if it ain't
You know,
Grok,
whatever.
Wait,
don't
Savvy,
fix it.
did you look to see if you could buy a flamethrower?
A flame? No, I don't need it back. Oh gosh, I hope that wasn't breakable. Okay, no, there's.
Sav, you want to break the
Tractor
internet?
Supply store to you sell a
Sav, you want to break the
flamethrower?
internet? Get a flamethrower of you in the driveway, getting rid of 3/4 of an inch of snow with a
Listen.
flamethrower.
I Whiskey sent me one to get on Amazon, so that may have been added to cart. Listen, you guys, this is
Yeah, but are they going to deliver
my
in
life is in
Snowmageddon?
peril, and the fact that none of you appreciate my plight is sad. Okay,
I appreciate your plight.
Thank you,
I
bud.
understand what it's like to get snow
I
in
do,
Houston.
Savvy. I
know
do.
you do, Destiny. I know you do, Mike, because y'all are loving humans. Okay,
They're Yankees.
I'm out here by the fires, and all I can think about is the snow in Georgia.
I know, Doc. I know.
Wait, Doc, are you okay? Seriously?
Yeah, I'm about 8 miles from any active evacuation area. I'm on right off of Topanga Canyon Boulevard, but near the 101 freeway. Topanga goes straight out to the beach, Malibu, where it's burning right now. So I've got friends that have lost homes in Pacific Palisades. And there's probably 80% of the people in that community that burned, they're all liberals. They all vote Democratic. They all go to the same clubs. A couple of them burned down. It's going to be hell to pay for Karen Bass and Gavin Newsom because of this fire.
Okay, hold on a second. Before we're gonna jump into that as news of the day. We're gonna kick that off. First of all, before we start, I want to welcome my two co-hosts up here. But while we're doing that, if you guys could just go down to that little pill down in the bottom right-hand corner and hit repost, that would be absolutely fantastic. So good for the algorithm. So good, it's incredible. If you could do that, it'd be fantastic. Also, like the space and do everything that you can to. And don't forget, don't just subscribe, to my personal channel because it's 99 cents. But I'm just saying, if you wanted to, you're not going to find it any cheaper than that. But I do want to welcome, first of all, let me welcome arguably the greatest space host in the world of spaces. No, I'm just playing. No, I'm not just playing. She's fantastic too. But let's go. Let's make this one Hitch Slap. Hitch Slap, my man, my brother from another, whatever you say, something down under. My mother from another down under, brother, mother, whatever. It's kind of incestuous, but it's fine. We'll get past that. Hitch, what's up, brother? How you been?
What's up, MikeMac? Thanks so much for having me. Really appreciate it. I've been looking forward to this space all week. You always run great ones, and there's a lot to talk about. As you said, we can just go look at the title and everything that's been going on. So yeah, I've had a great start to 2025. I'm trying to ramp up spaces. I'm trying to ramp up posting. And would it be uncouth of me to mention my community, or is it be rude of me to do that?
I'm going to have to insist on it.
I want to let everyone know that I just started a community. It's called Hitch Slap University. Anybody who joins, just by joining, will get 5 IQ points. And if you do a post, the first post that you do will give you another 5 IQ points. That's 10 IQ points just by joining Hitch Slap University. It's posted at the top of my post. Don't listen to community notes. Don't listen to haters who say that's fake, that defies the laws of physics, that can't happen. Completely untrue. Go in there, join. I'm posting in there any day, and I commit to anyone who asks a question in there, I will answer everybody's question. So I'm very, very active. So other than that, yeah, great start 2025. I'm trying to ramp things up. And as Mike said, subscribe to him. Only 99 cents. He's got a lot of problems, 99 problems, but a subscription ain't one. So give him a subscription. I completely support this. As soon as I get mine active, I'll be subscribing as well. So thanks, MikeMac, for having me. I'm looking forward to this space. It's going to be epic.
Absolutely, brother. We're always smarter when Hitch Slap is in the room. The IQ points go up just by osmosis. It just happens as long as you're a speaker on the stage. And I'm sorry, you won't lose all of the points if we cycle you off. But I'm just saying, it's good to have them while you're up here. And
I want to say,
yes,
just very quick. I want to thank you for the pop-up space you did. If anyone hasn't seen it, just go to my profile on Mike's and type in pop-up space. I want to thank you for doing it. Other than it was really, really good. Each time I do one, I learn a little bit from it. And there was a couple of mistakes I made in your one, maybe nuanced mistakes people might not have noticed, but I did one recently with I did one recently with Greenland. That was yesterday. And the kind of little errors I made, I took some feedback from you that you gave me in the DMs, and I applied it to Greenland, and I thought it went a little bit better. So I just want to thank you personally for your feedback and for doing that space. And you're helping me out, behind the scenes, in front of the scenes, all over the place. So I just want to thank you for your friendship, MikeMac. Really appreciate it, brother.
Oh, absolutely. And I did not know that Green Man's was yesterday. I'm sorry I missed that. I'll have to go check that out. That's gummit. I like Green Man. Talented freaking cat right there.
Yeah.
Yeah, he is. Absolutely. I want to give a shout out to my co-host with the host, something. Just got all kind of word. I feel like rhyming today. I think it came from Destiny's poem. Yeah. But as we said, the hottest man and woman, well, she's the other half of that. So Des, my partner in crime, how are you, darling? What's going on? How's everything going for you this week?
Well, I'm good. Thank you for asking. Hi, Hitch. Hey, everybody. Mike, as always, it's such a great space every Wednesday. I always look forward to this. And despite the fact I was not the author and somebody stole my identity, it happens all the time. It's 2025. Everyone's identity is getting stolen. So it's a common misconception, Mike. It's all right. But because no offense to whoever wrote it, but I would have done a much more fabulous, detailed, loving, perfect, award-winning, I'm not going to say Nobel Prize or Pulitzer Prize, but you get the idea, right? It's up there. And so that, that was nice, but I wouldn't just deliver you nice, Mike. I would deliver you perfection in the form of linguistics. It would be this it should be on everybody's mind how wonderful my poem would be if I wrote one. Now, I'm doing great, guys. It's been a great week. Actually, it's been emotional. I've noticed people's emotions are a little stringy. And so I took a little bit of a backseat today off of X for the most part. And I was like, this is what happens when you have Cancer and Mars retrograde. Nah, I'm not good at it. So some people can't handle that energy, and that's okay. That's okay. We're not all built for Leos
Correct. That's how we roll, baby.
We can handle
That's how we roll.
Right.
Believe it. Well, that's good. I'm glad everything's going smooth for you. Yeah, so before we I really wanted to talk to, because I love listening to the other spaces and everybody talking about this. People are getting trolled left and right. They can't tell if Trump's trolling, if he's setting something up, if like, well, if it works, then I look like a genius. If not, I was trolling. So there's all kind of avenues, and I really am excited to kind of get to see how people are seeing what's going on in the world. And I know that I'm not going to say anything about Dr. Kat while I'm talking about this, but she probably disagrees with all of us, and we should all not follow her.
No.
Did I say that out? I thought that was not a private conversation. Okay, I got you. No, I'm just playing. I love Dr. Kat. She's one of my favorite people on X. Period. She was down in my neck of the woods the other day, but we're gonna have to do one of those live meetings, and that'll be incredible. Lots of respect for her. But yeah, first I wanted to talk a little bit and get some perspective and go back to kind of what Doc was talking about with the fires. I haven't been.
Let's talk about that.
Dude,
because I have family there.
Is that zero?
Like my only family left.
Is that 0% contained, Des? What's that?
That's what last I heard, but then again, I haven't checked into it all. Like I said, I've been off X all morning, so for the most part.
So, Doc, what's going on out there?
Well, the winds are down substantially. I would say they're probably 10 to 20 miles an hour max right now. Last night, easy 50 to 60 where I'm at. And in the canyons that are burning near where Pacific Palisades and obviously Malibu are, those canyons, some are pretty deep, so it swirls in there. And that throws embers out into different communities, even 10, 20 miles away from the coast, like Altadena, where there's another substantial fire, apparently. That's east of Santa Monica, the foothills near Burbank. So getting better, but I'm hearing really, really bad reports from those people who've been able to get back into Pacific Palisades. My friend thinks his house is gone. Not sure. He knows that 4 of about 10 homes on that street burnt, and he's not sure about what happened to his house. Apparently 280,000 people are under evacuation orders. There's no water, apparently, in several communities where they were trying to fight the fire with the reduced fire staff they have. You might have seen reports, if you're following the story at all, that different reporters, including Nick Sorter and others, have revived recent and past video of the current commander of the LA Fire Department, a gay woman bragging about the DEI policies of the community. Also, there are old retired firefighters who retired because of COVID. These were some of the best firefighters, the most experienced firefighters, the healthiest and most concerned about their health firefighters are now coming forward and identifying that they were worried about the department after their departure, who fully embraced the DEI policies pushed by Karen Bass, our mayor, elected, I think 2 years ago.
Who is where right now?
Well, she was in Guyana, attending, of course, because Guyana is just so critically important to the trade and business community here in Los Angeles, that she needed to fly halfway around the world to represent us at the presidential swearing in there in Guyana. There is video out of her being cornered by a reporter, looks like at a boarding gate to a plane, reporters speaking with an English accent. So I imagine she flew from Ghana into London, Heathrow, which is a normal path from Africa. And so she's headed back, probably won't be here until tomorrow morning, to face the music. We did see Biden sitting down with Gavin Newsom, where he spoke briefly about the fire, then talked about what a great grandfather he was. So everything's just hunky-dory here in California. Don't worry about us. I got it.
Well, it is interesting to say the least. I'm interested to see how far that this is going to go. I mean, it looks like this is going to burn for a while. And I was listening to a story someone was saying about some people who moved down to Palisades. I used to live out there. I lived in Santa Monica for a while.
Just to answer that last question before I go off the mic, it's going to wind down really quickly because what's been happening is the winds predominantly are flowing toward the beach and away from the canyons and away from burnt areas, but you're still getting fires lit from these swirling embers. They'll fly 10, 20 miles in the air and start a new fire. So I think in terms of the devastation of Pacific Palisades and Santa Monica, it's winding down because the winds are winding down, and just there's nothing left to burn on the west side of Pacific Coast Highway. And this is where all of the multi-million-dollar mansions that are right on the beach, all of Hollywood, all the big producers, blah, 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 blah. So all the well, I'm not going to say what I'm going to say. Anyway, I think it'll be winding down, but I've heard no press conference from anybody for the last 24 hours.
Well, I did hear that Bernie Sanders, I believe that he said that the cause of this was climate change. Like immediately, I believe that's, and I'm not joking. Like I believe that he said that almost immediately.
Oh, that's what people are saying it. Yeah. I mean, you should see my feed and my DMs and stuff. It's all the left.
Well, that's funny because the Santa Ana winds have been there. Like, I don't know, maybe they've changed a little bit, but I remember them being violent when I was spending my summers in LA and I would get the Santa Ana like sickness. I don't know if anyone understands what that's like, but it's this weird cold thing you get when you experience breathing in these winds. It's the weirdest thing because I was like up at the Cascades. So it's just one mountain range up and it's essentially the same, but you go down there and the wind just does something to you. But I'm pretty sure that's always existed.
Yeah,
like,
Santa Ana, it's a very, very common, to those who are spreading these rumors that this is the same thing as Hawaii and look for the blue roofs or that this was done to clear out Pacific Palisades so they could burn it or rebuild it in advance of the Olympics. All that's fucking nonsense. I've been here a long time. I've been my whole life. I've been in several fires. The last was 2017, the last big Malibu fire. And it's just the nature of the beast here that you're going to get these high winds and you can get a spark. It's really dry and there's a lot of brush, sagebrush they call it. It's, small trees and shrubbery around, 3 to 6 feet high. And they don't maintain it. There's video out there of Trump complaining to Gavin Newsom about the Forest Service policies, which the environmentalists have actually passed amendments to statutes that are banning what they call forest management. They didn't want any forest management. So you get this old growth built up. You don't get fire roads cleared. And so really it was just a matter of time before this happened, because as Destiny, you're pointing out, this is sort of a regular occurrence. These are our hurricanes. These are our tornadoes. This is the natural disaster, along with earthquakes and communism that we get out here in California. So
Doc, let me ask you this: it wasn't the space lasers?
Yeah, I did see some UFOs appearing in some of the smoke-filled skies. I kid you not. Some fairly responsible people are reposting them. I'm not able to detect really with any sophistication when they fake this stuff, but I do believe aliens are around, and sitting back and watching the fire. I mean, who could blame them?
Well, there was a Battle of Los Angeles back in the day. A lot of people don't know about it. Destiny probably knows about it, but the Battle of Los Angeles, a very, very important thing.
Yeah, that was super duper real. Not like this fake drone off New Jersey. First off, I said this to somebody earlier today. If aliens, which would assume that they are galactic faring, highly intelligent creatures, were to come to Earth, the last coast that they're going to hang out off of is New Jersey. I'm just saying. That's counterproductive. What? So they can go fishing for beer cans?
No, I'm born
Are you kidding
there. Why
me?
you gotta hate on us that much? Come on.
Hey. There's it's the Garden State. You guys got that. It's a beautiful name.
We don't even have a garden.
The garbage
Destiny.
state.
We don't even have a garden.
Trash goes to Jersey.
I make no apologies.
Oh my God, here we go.
But real quick, Mike, I wanted to say, does anyone know, does P. Diddy have a house in the Palisades? Because this could be a burn to cover up evidence kind of thing.
Yeah, that's pushing it a little bit.
It's a good question.
I mean, it's a big list.
I don't. I've been in and out of that community a lot, and I do not believe P. Diddy is anywhere near.
Because the baby oil would explain why the fire's spreading so fast.
Doc, don't talk about that. This is a recorded space. But that's fine. Nothing wrong with driving through. Just
hey, no shame. No shame. I didn't break any laws.
Okay. By the way, Doc, I just want to say this real fast. Hold on, real quick, Ryan. Doc, I'm kicking your ass this weekend.
No fucking way.
Believe it, baby. Believe it.
I'm coming.
Yeah.
I'm coming.
Okay.
Wait, what's going on?
Don't worry about that. Doc knows what's up.
The Chargers are playing the Titans.
Not the Titans, the Texans. That's a fake Oiler. That's an old Oiler team with a freaking God, that still pisses me off. Wearing the Oilers uniforms against us.
$20 right now. Come on,
bro. I got Tucker. What about my Tucker Carlson?
I owe you $20 on Tucker Carlson. So we'll double or nothing.
Double or nothing. There we go. Yeah, we got you. I got you. Double or nothing. Yeah, the thing about the thing in LA, man, it's really bad. It's really sad. And I wanted to add, Brianna, maybe you can chime in on this. It seems like we hear every time that these forest fires take place, there's always this talk about they could have done this to prevent it, right? As far as the, just doing the little burns and all those kind of stuff to get rid of that brush and all that they could have done this, but they never do. It just seems like it's like, I mean, am I wrong for thinking, isn't this something that like criminals could do?
Well, I think you make that assumption because you didn't put out the fire. You go put it out, Mike. See how easy it is.
I mean, one, I don't know what you just meant by that right there.
No, like my brother's a firefighter, like ever since the Biscuit fire in Oregon, which was horrendous. It's way worse than what was going on in California. Not to discredit California, but like it is a heat. It is, they're carrying gear that you would not imagine how heavy it is. Like it really is difficult, which is why preventative stuff is so important, like to keep it from happening in the first place, because fighting it is so
That's what I don't understand. That's what I understand is why they know that they have to do this. They know it's a reason for this happening. You can't find criminals in a jail that can go do this deforestation type stuff beforehand, just as a freaking service to the community?
Mike, can I jump in?
Yeah, hold on real fast. Brianna, let me go to Brianna Mustang. I'll come to you right next. Brianna, what are your thoughts on that?
Yeah, so this is actually why I came up to speak, because Doc's 100% correct, right? We've seen a strategic slashing of the natural resources budget all across the West Coast. In 2018, Governor Kate Brown at the time in Oregon came up with a new forest management plan that we affectionately labeled Burn Baby Burn, because her entire conflagration sort of concept was to wait until the federal government declared a state of emergency and then depend on federal resources to put out forest fires. And it's extremely problematic because during 2020, for example, we had a 100-year death layer in areas of publicly managed lands. So in the areas that were privately managed, the fire rolled right through and there was not an issue. There was no smoldering. There was no, expansion of the fire because of the winds. It just literally went right through because it's properly managed. The problem here is public and publicly managed land. So that's state and forest or federal forestry areas. And the issue here is mainly the private right of action clause. If I'm not mistaken, Doc, please chime in here. But it's really created this sort of vampiric parasitic structure out of quote unquote environmental law firms that are able to sue the state. And in fact, there was a not too long ago, there was a Washington DOJ report that found the Center for Biological Diversity had made $2 million in taxpayer funds in a small period of 3 years just from Endangered Species Act lawsuits filed against the state of Washington to prevent them from properly managing forests. So there is definitely a conflict of interest with some of these federal laws on the books. But beyond that, the real reason why I popped up and put my hand up was to draw attention to Biden's federal plan. This is the equitable or the federal plan for equitable long-term recovery and resilience. And unfortunately, what's occurred over the last 4 years is this reprioritization of funds to an ideological agenda called climate change. And as opposed to focusing public dollars on things like properly managing public lands, money has gone into this concept now of equity and climate justice. And it's really this concept of drawing borders around these, sort of resilient cities or resilient infrastructure grids, which they're calling the 15-minute cities. Apparently, these cities are going to be, less prone to hazards and disasters for some reason. I don't know. But we're watching this roll out in Western North Carolina. We're now potentially watching this happen in California. We just watched it happen in New Mexico. But the concept is to narrowly funnel funds into selected cities or counties and and kind of let the rest go. And I think that this is extremely problematic for the future of the United States for many reasons. But I would say, most importantly, for just the simple separation of powers and the issue. Sorry, I had a phone call come in. And the issue that it creates as these local governing structures have essentially lost their local control over things like land use and water rights. And that's a big issue, right? Because we don't live in a nationalist country where everything's decided at the centralized federal level.
Guys, by the way, if you're not following Brianna, do that. Go over to beefinitiative.com. Follow some of the stuff that she does. And I think Destiny would agree with me. One of our best spaces we've ever had was with Brianna when we talked about like cattle and beef. It was just incredible. Some of the ideas that are out there that we just kind of need to get going and get some of this legislation passed. It's just incredible. So if you get a chance, make sure that you follow her. Brianna, how you been? It's been a while.
Thanks, Mike. I really appreciate that. Love you and Destiny very much. It's good. I just finished a pretty extensive research paper on this topic, the Equitable Long-Term Recovery and Resilience Plan. It's linked down at the bottom in that little purple pill. It's called America the Titanic, Managing After Impact with the Disastrous Biden-Harris Iceberg. And I've done multiple media interviews. The most recent one was with Alex Newman over at Liberty Sentinel. And that's on my page if you guys want to check that out and understand this whole concept better, right? This whole ideological priority versus economic development and growth, which is, it's just stifling to the United States. And it really encumbers our ability to be productive or to even produce a GDP. Moreover, I just created a post about the Endangered Species Act and the fact that corporations are actually hiring, employing, using, colluding with these quote unquote environmental law firms to really corner and monopolize the entire marketplace. And I'll land here, right? I don't want to take up or filibuster your space too much longer, but here's the whole problem. When we have federal laws on the book that become antithetical to their original purpose and intent and are actually helping massive corporations to monopolize entire industries and marketplaces, like you look at Oregon after the spotted owl incident, you had Georgia Pacific and Weyerhaeuser come out of that whole scenario, cornering the entire timber industry and putting mom and pop out of business. You had 75% of the entire Oregon economy just go out of business overnight. You had loggers and truck drivers and mill workers, and suddenly they're on EBT and food stamps. This is extremely problematic, and it's time to reform or abolish those laws that are no longer working in our country, and really help support the American people to make their own wealth. I mean, this is a communist degrowth agenda, and it's time to overturn it. We need to get our ability to make our own money back. It's just frankly insane.
Well, if we've ever had a shot at that, Brianna, I think it's coming up in the next 4 years. I think we may have a shot at a lot of great stuff. Like I really do. I'm very hopeful. Always thankful to people like Savvy and people who and Jen and Dustin and everybody that's and Ryan and everybody that's done all this incredible stuff to just make sure that we get this country back on track. So I think that this might be a good opportunity. Mustang, what say you, brother? What do you think? You think we
Oh my gosh, I'm shocked. I just got fire hosed with facts. Who is Brianna? Which was her account? I got to follow her. I don't recognize the name.
Oh, Brianna, she's down.
She just put a laugh emoji up.
Just do it again, Brianna. I got to find you. Where's your
account? She's putting up purple hearts.
Oh, I got her. Okay, wow, girl, you are so smart. Are you running for office? Get on here.
She might be. Depends on how much she can raise in a little fundraiser.
It's glitchy. Is she a listener right now, or is she actually speaking?
Yeah, I'm speaking. Yeah, I'm up here as a speaker, Mustang. I'm the senior writer and research fellow for the Beef Initiative. I am Texas Slim Foundation. And honestly, if you like what I have to say, we'd love your support. We are fighting very hard for the cattle industry right now, and for private property rights is really what it all comes down to. Private property rights, water rights, the rights of the individual, and that's what our entire foundation is based upon. So,
well, if it would be supportive to you, I'd like to do an interview with you. I've got 7 different formats and 160,000 on YouTube. I'd like to promote you, so DM me and with your information, your phone number if you want to, and I'll call you.
Yes, sir. Thank you. Thanks, Mike.
Yeah.
Thanks, Destiny.
Yes. Yeah, I wanted to say hi, Mike, and hi to Destiny. You know, Savvy, you're killing it, and everybody else, Doc, Texas One. We're really building a community here, which is really getting nice, because I have to admit, Hitchlap, I am not stalking you, okay? I hooked up with Hitchlap. I was just then in Destiny, started following these guys' accounts. And you guys are all a quality group. I'm having like a really quality space here. So I usually don't enjoy spaces because it's kind of like romper room and they're all calling each other names. So I appreciate having the floor, and God bless President Trump. We dodged a bullet, literally. I land.
Absolutely. Yeah, no, it's a lot of great people, a lot of great things I think are on I really got it. It's like, I think it's just going to slow down time, waiting for the 20th to get here. But yeah,
hey, Mike.
He's going to slaughter some of these people and some of these opinions and this garbage that's out there. And I'm ready for that to happen. Yeah, go ahead, Doc.
Yeah, I see Gary Cardone down there as listener. I think he's got a house out there in PCH that was either burned or very, very close to it.
I think Grant did. Gary, what's the latest with Grant's house?
That's right, Grant.
I spoke to him about 4 years ago. Hello, everyone. The 2 houses on each side of him are burned down to the ground. The other one, the fire department's evidently in his house, and they got hoses through the garage, and they're spraying down the other house so it doesn't, become more contagious. So he thinks he may be the only on Carbon, I think it's called Carbon Beach, that he may be the only house to survive. How bad is it? It's Armageddon.
Which is kind of weird, because he had said that it probably would have. I mean, he doesn't. I mean, I heard him say that he doesn't want it to burn down, obviously, but I guess the way that they have everything set up there, as far as taxes and all that kind of stuff goes, that he probably would have made more money off the house, off not having it.
Oh, probably. I mean, the question's going to be, how does LA get built? Because they're broke, and I don't think the insurance companies are going to be able to man up. There's going to be an awful fight. The insurance company is going to sue the state, saying, "Hey, you guys didn't have water pressure." I mean, it's going to be a train wreck, man. You thought Helena in Florida was bad. The most expensive real estate in the world.
There's going to be a lot of good money made for those lawyers, though, out there. A lot of good kickbacks, Gary. That's good eating.
Yeah, but I tell you, it seems to me it's almost like God's coming down and punishing that criminal state, because for all the P. Diddy, all the shit that's been going on, man, it's almost like retribution time. But sad to see a great state like that experiencing such trauma.
It is weird. It could be a great state. And I say that as someone who comes from a place that prides themselves off being called the great state. And California could be it, but they're all coming here. And I think, if I'm not mistaken, didn't Zuckerberg just say that is he moving down? Is he coming to Texas or moving?
He's opening.
Well, he's in Hawaii right
he's
now.
Compliant his division that is going to be the non-fact checking department. he's going to put that in Austin because he thinks isolating it in Austin so he can lick Elon every now and then will what was his verbiage? It will protect the culture. It'll be able to do its own thing anyway.
I think Zuck's coming around. Zuck's coming around.
Dude,
I think he's hitting a midlife crisis.
I think he had to come into Jesus' moment.
Hey, once someone is a copycat, my friend, you are always a copycat and a thief. You never change.
I don't know if Zuck is coming around, but this is Ryan speaking, by the way. But today, for the first time since 2018, and I can't tell you how long I tried to fight against this to get it back, but I got monetization back today for the first time since 2018 on Facebook.
Congratulations, dude. Congratulations.
So, I mean, I think there is a change happening, but it's going to be gradual. But I think that there's
Ryan, you know what? There. I think he's terrified going to go to prison, my friend.
I think that as well. I mean, I think that they realized the whole platform basically became this fugazi, so you could say what they liked to hear, and then eventually it caught up with them, because I mean, it's like you can't ban a sitting president, and then the guy gets reelected, and you think you're going to get away with that? No, come on now. I mean, that's what they did back in 2020. Right. So I mean, there's something in play there, and I think they realized they made a mistake, and I think that they realized that a lot of people do not like the decisions they made, and now they're kind of coming around the corner and realizing, okay, we got to change some stuff. I think
I disagree. They just need to be able to train Meta AI, right? All the conservatives left, so they couldn't train their AI. Now let's bring them back, monetize them. Let's start recording all their stuff for AI. I mean, it's a big trap.
Ryan, what are you doing, my brother? So like, do you not remember all? Like, I personally,
Ryan about to get spanked.
Millions.
Yeah, I already know. I already got spanked by this woman today. Over the California fires. I attacked her. She attacked me. I'm ready.
I helped Facebook like develop pages and groups because I had a lot of the largest, very early ones. Dude, when Zuckerberg, like when you come back in a couple years and like the political winds have shifted and like they steal your money and investment and you get bupkis in return, like, dude, cut them off, bro. Like, make people come.
The only reason why we use it is because I have followers on there and I like to keep them informed because some of them don't want to come here. So we just have to keep it active. You know what I mean? But do you know Mark Blatterfine by any chance? Because he also used to do what you guys did. You created the big Facebook pages. And this is when I liked Facebook, when it was the Wild West, where you could create, some social media page. You could get it up to 5 million followers in a year. You'd share news articles. You'd be able to monetize that thing like the 4th of July and make a killing every month. And now they just don't allow you to do that anymore. But Mark did that, and so that's kind of where I come from, also knowing some of the original Facebook big pages. So that's interesting.
I think he bought some of the pages that I had when I fully exited the platform after they started to censor me.
Yeah, but he got screwed too, Dustin, by the way. He got destroyed.
Yeah, no, everybody did. And that's what I'm saying, man. You gotta cut the beast off. Like, they are an evil. And as far as this like recent like conversion, do we have the Facebook files? Did he put out and name all of the NGOs and government agencies and officials that were actively, illegally censoring people on Facebook? Because otherwise, this is all like just suck up bullshit. Facebook files or go fuck yourself. That's how I'm taking it.
Well,
I'm with you, Dustin. I'm with you.
They've got to save face.
They have ended and abused every shareholder. If I was a shareholder of Facebook or Google or anyone, and you were doing business with the U.S. government or any government and not advising the public, that is like, I cannot wait for these class actions, man. Like this is betrayal at the greatest fucking level. And just because you have an algorithm back in 6 months ago and he realized that Trump was going to sweep
But
every
Gary,
state.
where are the class actions coming from, though? Like, I mean, we still got Section 230B, which restricts that. So, I mean, where are we getting these? Because I would love to sue.
Jason Fike.
Well, it doesn't sound like you want to sue because you're keeping your platform open to Facebook. I don't need those clients.
That doesn't mean, Gary, that I don't want to
sue.
I already lost
feeds the beast, man.
Because of
but
that.
It feeds the beast, dude. Yeah, he's made bins on the back of your work, dude. You dig the ditch and then he steals it. Yeah, but this is the lady that was speaking, though.
I'm asking a logical question here. How do we
This is an endemic problem, though. This is an endemic problem across the United States. We have become a closed market, only open for monopolies that are protected by regulators. Like, name me one industry, to this lady's point, that has more than 4 dominant players. There isn't one industry you can name that has more than 4 dominant players. Okay, and usually in IT, it's 2 or 3. We have no choice anymore. And we should demand for all of these monopolies either to be qualified as utilities, and therefore they make a shitty, tiny little margin and have a lot of transparency, or they break themselves up into tiny little pieces.
Gary, I agree with you.
How do in the current state of the market, in talking about the bills and policies already on the books, how do we currently sue? I mean, Jason Fike has been doing this for years, and I know Jason really well, and he's gotten some pretty good ground. But I mean, like, there's no definitive, end game to it. I feel like, I mean, how do we sue and get a response? What do we do?
But this gets to the point. So, if Jason is able to finally crack it open and get the stuff that negates the 230B, then it'll open the floodgates for a bunch of us, which is part of the reason it's taken Jason so many years to fight, right? Like, and again, they have unlimited resources, and he's one activist dude who just was pissed, and he stuck to it, and he's starting to rack up some victories. If you follow the latest, he's getting close to getting access to the stuff that would be really damaging. But this is what I'm getting at, though, Ryan, which is because somebody asked me, and I had to think about it. How is this? How is this any different than Twitter becoming X? And the answer that eventually I came up with that really stuck with me, Elon didn't just take over and say that there were going to be changes. He blew the whistle on the company. He literally brought forward all of this new information that led us to the Disarm Foundation and CISA and fucking Elvis Chan and the naming names of the officials who had violated our rights in a way that was real and has lasting impact. I didn't see anything but a bunch of oh, we're totally cool now, you guys. Come hang out with us again. There's no way. I refuse.
There's definitely something. There's definitely something going on behind the scenes. I mean, you wouldn't expect just a major culture shift like this to where you're bringing in more conservative individuals to run your political
It's a trap,
DC
Ryan.
team.
It's a trap.
Yeah, I mean, there's something going on there, of course, but it's. I think like any business, I think they're trying to just save themselves. The only reason why I brought up that point of getting monetization back is when I lost it back in 2018, I went through the Trump White House. I went through personal connections at Facebook. I went through everything in attempt to get it back, and I couldn't get it back. And the only reason why it was removed is because we posted a video that we saw on Twitter. We downloaded it and we shared it on there, and I guess monetization is automatically enabled. I have no clue. And they said limited originality of content, which was bullshit, because it's like we've been posting videos like that for months. And so I don't know. It just feels like a little bit of a victory for me today that I got that back, even after going through the White House, going through all those people. It was kind of hectic. But I mean, I went like 6-7 years without that crap. And it's not like I ever needed it, but it just seemed like a victory. It seems like there is.
Why don't you send it back to them and tell them to fuck up, man? If you haven't needed it, you're not going to need it.
Well, no, I mean, but the thing is, though, is if you have that flag on your account, any post you put out, it automatically delimits it, makes it lower in your.
Dude, I totally hear you. I totally hear you. But
that's the garbage.
lady,
I don't give a shit about the money.
The smart lady is saying, "Hey, dude, it's a trap. They're giving you the ticket back, and to go walk back into an enemy camp. I don't know why anybody would do that." On this originality, I find it very interesting. I've had 5 Instagram accounts under the name of Gary Thomas Cardone, and I cannot keep an account. Yet I'm sure everybody here knows that this is Gary Cardone. I am the real original Gary Cardone. Cannot fucking keep an account there and don't want one. Don't give a fuck. But it's, you know, look, I heard shit today about Eric Holder getting a program from Zuckerberg. Does anybody know Eric Holder got paid to sit on that board?
Yeah, I believe he was. And let's not forget that
42 million, Justin. Year 1.
Yep.
$42 million.
And let's not forget that Anna McAndrew, the in charge of global elections at Facebook, was implicated directly in the Russia hoax and was the only other person on the call when Joe Biden talked to Poroshenko about the shakedown of Hunter Biden. So like, Zuckerberg, to his credit, right? And I've been telling people, how long have I been telling people? Like, there's a handful of golden whistleblower tickets, and everybody else is a criminal. Now, I think Zuckerberg came into the Zuckerbot 3000 too late for a golden whistleblower ticket, but you know, I commend him for trying, because like everybody else is a criminal and needs to be like really ruthlessly prosecuted. And I Facebook's in the middle of it, and like, fine, I would love it. Again, I generated more than 1 billion impressions a month for 3 years, millions of clicks that was just shut off. Right, even if they offered it to me, I won't go back. I would demand that before I post one fucking thing over there, full Facebook files, the way Elon did the Twitter files, right? Like, unless you are giving me like who the representative
right on, bro.
Demanding I be censored. Like, no, I'm not buying it.
Have you guys read the new terms of service? Because I hadn't signed in to Facebook for a long time. I refused to sign it. When you sign in, you're giving them permission to access your PC drive and delete stuff from your computer. That is what you're signing up for when you guys sign in to Facebook. I refuse to go onto that platform and give them that permission. So no, I will never, ever sign into Facebook again.
Is that actually accurate? Because that's.
Yeah, because I went to go message my neighbor because she was sending me a file when I fell out of a tree with a chainsaw. Anyway, long story short, I went to go sign in just to Messenger, and those were the new terms of service. I read them and I said, hell no. So I took a thumb drive to our house and downloaded it a different way, because I will not give anyone access to my hard drives or anything like that. Yeah, it's actually there. Go read them.
You fell out of a tree with a chainsaw and you're still alive?
Dude, it was epic.
That's like the only thing I took away from that conversation there, because I feel like I would have just cut myself in half. But kudos. I mean, thank God you're alive. But that's good.
No, you'll have to know that, like, because I was cutting a tree, I was on the top rung of a ladder, and I was like, this is how this tree will fall. I was like, so I didn't strap the chainsaw on, because I'm like, if I fall, and then the chainsaw will chop me in half. So anyway, I chucked it as I fell. It's epic. I'll have to show you.
It's funny, Ryan, the way you just like said, thank God you're alive. It's a miracle, is the same thing I say about people who are still using Facebook after all we know about it. Like it is a miracle.
All right, Dustin. All right, you've trolled me enough for the Facebook thing. All right, I should get off of it. But you know what? I hope Zuck bends over, gives us the source code, and does the right thing. But I doubt it's going to happen. I really do. I mean, you're talking about a Simi Valley tech company. I don't think it's going to happen. I really wish it would, because I think there is value to Facebook. I mean, when you look at, and the only reason why I'm still on there is, like I said, I have people on there who follow me and they want to engage. But also you have a lot of the older generation. And so it's a market that I find the need to tap as a political individual, because that's a voting base, right? So that's the only reason why I think we go after it still. But I mean, is it chaos over there? Yeah. Do we know if we're going to get censored one day for saying XYZ? No, we don't. I mean, but it's sort of part of the game, and I think we've kind of put it in our minds, like, we don't like it, we don't want to do it, but we've got to do it because there's people there that are still voters. So that's the only reason why I think we still use it.
I'll stop busting your chops about it, but I do it because I hope that people really will give up Facebook. And I get that there's benefits. I miss, like, not being able to see what all the people I went to high school with are currently up to. But at the end of the day, if we can't change our behavior after a company does us as dirty as Facebook has done us, then I fear that we are, like, the commitment. And I get you're in a unique position, Ryan. So, right, my hope is less directed at you and everybody else who's listening. Just stop logging into Facebook, right? Like, I'll admit I logged in once in the last 5 years, and it was to let people know that my dad had passed. And other than that, like, I refuse to log in. I refuse to look at it. And frankly, I refuse to bring my epic genius to their shit platform so that people can look at it. They must come somewhere else to get all that this is in all its glory.
I get my Dustin fix on X, and you should too. So come on out and join us. Join American Mission, where you can get all the Dustin that you'll ever need right here on X. Thank y'all for coming out. By the way, we are at the top of the hour. Go down the bottom pill, please. It takes you 5 seconds. It means so much. Go down there and repost the room. And don't forget, by the way, and Des, I'm coming to you right now, but don't forget, go to, you can find it on Des's page, my page, our little Say Something community there. We would love for you guys to join in. We're going to be doing all kind of stuff in 2025, starting interviews. We'll be posting videos over there, and we would love you guys to jump in. And while you're over there, go ahead and subscribe for 99 cents. My God, 99 cents. It's the best freaking deal in the entire world. You get this personality, this kind of charm, these blue eyes, this Texas, and this Adams family, connection. Savvy knows what's up. So make sure you do that. We are going to be doing later on a little bit of, it could be trivia, it might be a game thing, whatever it is, but it'll be fun, and we'll do that. And that's coming up probably about an hour from now. But I wanted to talk a little bit about some other things, but I want to go to Dustin first. Not Dustin, Destiny, same thing, whatever. They both sound like men. Des, what were you wanting to chime in about?
Well, about Facebook real quick, and then we can switch topics if we want to, but I find it, like, I took it personally when I heard his little sniveling self in his new path, and his, he found the light. Bullshit. But it's okay, because I got my start in research because he's such a douchebag. On March 27th, 2020, I posted the gain of function research paper from Nature on Facebook, and all I said was, hey guys, I think this shit was made in a lab 5 years ago. And I was shut the hell down. Never been censored in my life. Never. I was 29, never been censored for nothing. They censored me. And I was like, that's strange. I have to look into this because they censored me. So obviously this is something. And I never stopped ever since then. I never stopped. And that's why I'm here on X, which is great that he's such a douchebag that it led me here. But it doesn't make me like him at all. Like, I don't trust him for 2 cents. He's trying to kiss ass. I don't buy any of it. This is a guy who stole from the Winklevosses in the first place. His best friend was recruited by the CIA straight out of high school. He sucks. He sucks. He sucks. He sucks. He can just stay in his underground bunker in Hawaii and kiss dirt because, you know, he's just
Daz, let me ask something real fast. And I agree with what Gary said. And I think that this is true. And by the way, if you guys are not listening, I mean this all seriously. If you're not tuning into Gary's channel on Sunday mornings for Church with Gary Cardone, you are missing an absolute fantastic time. And Gary, sorry to put you on the spot like this, but it's literally, and I know how it affects him. I know how the time that he puts into doing this. And for him to sit down and give his insights into things that are going on in the world, how we, you know, things that we can do to kind of manifest things, you know, sayings and writing things down. It really is a different type of church. And I think that if you guys get a chance, you will benefit from it. It is really an interesting look into who Gary is and the way that he thinks, and also things that he believes and that a lot of us believe will benefit us. It's just that sometimes it's not told to us in a way that is simple enough for people to kind of grasp in one sitting. So
I would also say, Mike, if you guys aren't following Gary or Grant Cardone, two amazing people to follow, great financial advice, great life advice. Make sure you are following them.
And Gary, I'm going to come to you in just a second because I want to talk to you about some of the stuff that's going on, some of these proposals that are going on around the world. And you and Grant, y'all's opinions were a little bit different than some people. And I wanted to ask you about what Simon said. That was what Simon said, past tense, not what he says current tense. That would be Simon says. Anyway, Simon says, stop doing smiley emojis. That's okay. But yeah, Simon is a lot of people in this world think that when any talk about Greenland, Canada, or the Panama anal, that it's some kind of war that's about to take place. Like we're about to invade people, right? And I don't know if they're just anti-Trump or what's going on with that, but I do definitely want to get some of y'all's opinions on what we should do. Literally, not this crazy talk that's out there, but legitimate common sense things about how this can benefit Canada, Greenland, the Panama Canal, and the United States. And Gary, you were Gary, if you want to go ahead and jump in there, you can now, but you were talking about energy. You know, you were talking about I heard you the other day, Gary, talking about what does Europe produce? If if they stopped producing cars, they wouldn't do anything to the world. If we didn't need, and like Trump said, if Canada, we don't need Canada's cars. We don't need their milk. We don't need their produce. If we didn't subsidize $250 billion a year, they'd pretty much collapse, I would imagine. So if you want to kind of kick us off a little bit with that, and then we'll get to some of these hands.
Yeah, sure. Like, look, to me, it makes a lot of sense. Okay. Like, I think we're in the middle of, and by the way, thank you very much for the compliment. And it's on the church. It is not an easy thing for me to do. It's probably the most difficult thing I do, actually. I don't know why I'm doing it. I feel absolutely compelled to do it, which is very, very, I feel like I would feel guilty not to do it. And I don't know why I'm having that feeling, but that tells me, hey, I'm supposed to be doing this. So, dude, the feedback, I cannot tell you. Some of the feedback I have gotten, I want to wait. I literally like, wow, man, I'm crying. I mean, I'll tell you a story of mine, because I think this is really like, I think we can change the energy on this planet from terror, apathy, and maybe we need people to get really angry. First, you got to get scared, then you get angry, and then we start, get into the solution. But look, that Sunday church, I got an email yesterday from a guy that betrayed me 14 years ago. And his letter was, I haven't watched anything you've done in the 10 years. And for some reason, I went and watched your Sunday church the other day, this last Sunday. And the guy said, hey, I want to apologize for everything I did to you. You did not deserve that. I haven't spoken to this person in 10 years. Just walked away from him. Done. I'm done. See you. Bye. I find that to be amazing. Okay. Anyway, sorry to go on so long about that, but I think something's really happening on this planet, and I would just encourage. I'm trying to be a solution, not a problem. I think I'll just leave that at that. On the energy side, on the Canadian side, about 3 months ago, I sent one of these memes out, and I said, "Hey, I bet you if we offered Canada $1 to buy the whole country, that 50% of the Canadians would say, yes, please. You have a boss there. We need to work for somebody that's got some balls." It makes sense to me that countries' jobs are to grow. CEOs' jobs, presidents, it's my job to grow my economy, my world, my influence. If I'm growing, I'm growing. If I'm not growing, I'm dying. We are in a mass geopolitical shifting here. We have currencies all over the world decaying by the day. Relative to Bitcoin, every currency on the planet has decayed. Now, some people think this about Bitcoin, but just think that through. Wow, other country currencies are decaying overnight. Europe has nothing that they can offer the United States. Nothing. Let me know one thing they offer. Expensive cars. They couldn't compete with a Chinese car if they're fucking dependent on it. Okay? They have a subsidy issue. They have no energy. Okay? So Europe is fucked. I mean, completely, utterly done. And I think that's where the chaos is going to really come from. If I'm the CEO of America, I take out Canada. I take out anything I freaking want that gives me a geopolitical wedge, leverage, logistical, militarily, or commercial. I take everything I possibly can right now. That's the game we're in now, okay? I mean, think about the monopoly thing we were talking about. If you think relative to Google, people are literally saying on this space, oh, it's okay to be a monopoly. Yeah, I'll do business with Facebook because, you know, they have a lot of users. Basically saying, oh, wow, you're trapped. You've allowed a monopoly structure under the Biden administration to become so fermented that the U.S. government was able to have almost every three-letter agency walk into these firms. And this is a deal. They've done these companies are fucking internal agencies for state. This is no longer freedom from church and state or business and state. This is state. So all of this has to go away. We should be violently requiring Trump to dismantle this bullshit. And let's go fucking secure our future with one thing. The one thing that secures us as a world civilization and an AI leader. Dude, China ain't got any energy, okay? We have it all. Fucking every drop, every unit of power you possibly can, and we win the AI game. And this is a war now, man. This is absolutely a war for market share. And you're going to have to be competitive. And that's my point. I think we're moving to a world where margins are going to get crushed. And you're going to want to make sure that America is in a position where we're manufacturing everything here, we're building everything here, and we're the most powerful nation on the planet and the fairest, the most transparent. So I'll end with that. But I think that's where we're headed, guys. Geopolitical shifting of the freaking chessboard.
Let me ask you this real fast. Why, and I was listening, and Simon is obviously, he's opposed to that point of view. I was listening to him talk earlier. And I like Simon. Disagree with him on XRP, but that's a story for another day. Why are we not why is it not in our best interest to try to acquire as much energy as we can moving into the future as we possibly can? Like, why is that not just simply, that's the goal, let's go get it? Are you serious? Wow, that's incredible. No, stop. No, let me jump in there. I'm just joking.
I agree with you, buddy. I mean, the Canada produces about 8 billion cubic feet a day. We do 111. We import most of it. The look, that country is so broken. Anyway, whether they're broken or not, who can disagree that us owning resources that are connected very close to us, like Russia has a problem. The fucking country is so big and there's no infrastructure. So they have energy in places they can't even get the energy out. But Canada just sitting right next to there. I mean, look, without America, Canada is nothing. It's a fucking.
What is that? What does that look like? What does that look like, Gary, in real terms? If we didn't subsidize them as much as we did, and we did kind of play hardball with them,
they wouldn't have any. I mean, what do we get back for protecting them? They have 3 naval ships. We have 3,000. So you don't have to force anybody to do anything. You don't have to take over anyone, but you simply make a phone call and go, hey, look, it's going to be really difficult. I'm going to treat you like Korea, or you can join my fucking party, dude. Let's get big. They will never survive alone. Canada is one notch further than the UK.
Yeah, I think
their
you're right.
dollar has lost 40% of their value, man. 40% of their value. It trades at about 70 cents to the dollar, I think. So their costs are going up. They keep taxing people to death. So you guys tell me what other solution. We need all these countries need businesses to be running them, not politicians. That is the problem.
Yeah, but we grow up, everybody's saying you can't run a country like a business, right? They always said that you can't run a country like a business, and it appears it's the only way you can run a country.
Yeah, well, we know what running a country looks like. It's with budgets, without audits, without controls. No one ever gets fired. And when the people leave the government, they go to work for Facebook for $42 million a year. Eric Holder, dude. He was the one prosecuting these people. It's outlandish. We've been living in a system for at least 15 years.
Well, it is interesting. It's going to be interesting to see how it turns out. But yeah, I always appreciate your insight, Gary. Jump in anytime you want to, brother.
Well, I think if people don't go to prison, to Destiny's point, okay, criminals like this don't change, guys. So I have no sympathy for Ryan's point on, well, my users are here. Like my users need to be educated that they're on an evil platform. And we do not support evilness. I don't care how much money I'm going to make in monetization. Cannot support evil if I'm supporting evil. If I am not aggressively destroying evil, I am part of the problem, guys. Let's be honest. There's no middle road here. They're like, oh, I get to walk in the middle and I'm going to be okay. This is how we got here. Sorry for going on so long.
That's Church with Cardone right there, baby. Getting a live time. That's a live clip of it happening in real time, boy. So you get that on Sundays. Make sure you tune in and check out Gary. It is an emotionally bearing a show, and it is absolutely worth your time. So check that out. Gary, jump in anytime you want to, brother. This stage, my space is like your space, brother. You can do whatever you want to. Anytime you want to shout out, Dark Maga. The floor is yours, brother. Let's go to Mustang real quick, and then Freemason coming to you, and then Meta Prime. Mustang,
right,
what's up, brother?
Quick statement about what Gary said. I'm a journalist. I'm trying to get the message out to everybody. So I've got audiences in all platforms, and they stay in their little echo chambers. They don't come out of Facebook, so you can't reach them. Or the TikTokers stay in TikTok. So I feel like it's a necessary evil to get the message out. Now, Mike, this is the big question. Have you been a radio announcer before?
Lone Star Country, KJ 103. Jay Michaels wrapping up another 4 in a row, guaranteed.
You had that job, right? Am I right?
I did, yeah.
Dude, I was like, oh my gosh, this guy's got such a voice for radio. He must have done it professionally.
It's the microphone. Okay. It's the microphone and the settings that helps a lot.
Dude, presentations, all about presentation.
Believe it. I appreciate that. Yeah, it's man. I wish I could. I feel like I wish I could comment better on what's going on in this world. Like, you know, everybody's got a decent perspective on things. It just seems like, I swear to God, man, it seems like that something is. I know it sounds cliche to say there's a glitch in the matrix, but I swear to God, man, there feels like that there is something going on right now that I cannot put my finger on. But it's
the
like
Great Awakening.
It's the Great Awakening. It must be it's legitimate. It feels like that evil has literally permeated. This is not just us being older. This is legitimate. It feels like that evil has somehow or another permeated through whatever barrier that there was.
How old are you, Mike?
It sounds like puberty.
How old are you, Mike?
Well, let's say this. I no longer have a 4 as my first digit.
Are you this old that you can't admit your age? I'm 60. How old are you?
I don't want to say I'm in my 50s, bro. I'm just not going to say. You're not going to get me to admit it.
He's a young guy, believe me. He's a young guy. We love
He's
Mike.
a young guy. Listen to Ryan. He's so young. Think of it, quite frankly, he's incredible. Ryan and I, we were like two Trumps in here. It was incredible. Quite frankly, he's incredible.
I always bring out that voice as my troll. That's my troll. That one thing is just that Trump impersonation.
There is no greater troll than Donald J. the DJ Trump. That's a fact. But yeah, it's.
We're not going to send you to China, Mike. We're not going to send you there.
God, I got to work on. That's a strong start. I like the way you start that off. You have a very powerful Trump start to your voice. I need to practice that.
You've got to start it off. You've got to look at yourself in the mirror. Imagine the hands moving, right? You love the hands. You love the hands. But they're a great thing, right?
Ryan, he's off my. I'm never having him back on again. I tell you, my Trump voice just went down the freaking shitter. Appreciate that. That was great. Now I'm going to retire it. I'm going to have to start working on my Kamala. Now Destiny's got that. It's over for me.
You can also talk like a Russian if you want to talk like a Russian. If you want to do Russian collusion, we can do that too.
And no, you know what I'm gonna do right now? I'm gonna go to my freaking boy Freemason, all right? He's up there in freaking New York City, all right? Get the freaking, hey, listen, my boy Freemason, he knows what I could, hey, wow, guys. Hey, go ahead there, Freemason. How you doing, man?
You mess around, I throw you in the Hudson, right?
Freaking no doubt about it. Freemason, jump in there, brother. How you doing? I appreciate it.
Yo, listen, I gotta cut you short, bro. I'm arguing with some cocksucker that owes me money in a requisition, so I'll be in like a half hour.
Wow, that's what happens when you go to somebody from New York. Like literally, you're right in the middle of it. You know what I'm saying? So I know I'm gonna have to freaking cut you off short. I'm going to the cocksucker here, right? You know what I'm saying? Get the freak out of here with that garbage, right? Freaking, we literally just tuned in to a New Yorker right in the middle of being a New Yorker live.
I thought that was in
It's like
Pennsylvania.
the craziest
And you knew
shit.
Jennifer was going to chime in on
We were
that.
making fun of throwing people in the Hudson River, and now we got a guy up here who wants to throw somebody in the Hudson River.
We got a guy. You know,
They need cement shoes first, Ryan.
Jennifer hadn't said anything the whole space, and all of a sudden you mentioned New York, and she freaking starts jumping in. You know, Jen, what's up? Jump in there. What are you up to? How you been? How Dustin still is he bothering you? Is he treating you freaking good? Is he treating you all right?
He
I
is
haven't talked with
treating
him a
me
little bit.
fantastic.
Is he? He's a good guy. He's a good guy. A little bit. You know.
Wait, you guys know he's starting his podcast tonight with Ian Carroll and Kyle Kemper at 8 p.m. They're going to be live streaming, I believe, on X Spaces. Dust, is that what
Go. And what are y'all, Dustin? What are y'all going to be talking about? What are y'all going to be talking about? Tell us about it.
So it's the Maha podcast. And me, Ian, and Kyle are going to do it weekly, which, to be honest, I don't know how I get so lucky, but I don't know that there's a bigger video content creator right now than Ian Carroll. So I have a feeling it's going to do fantastic. And we're going to be talking about health. And so it's kind of funny because, like, I feel like we have there's Dark Maha. Right, which is the Red Bull drinking, chain cigarette smoking, life of Dustin, very healthy, just a little maybe on the dark side.
Now you will be smoking a cigarette during this podcast. Am I correct? Like that?
Is this America?
I mean, okay, I just
Does Ted Kaczynski shit in the woods, Mike? Come on.
Okay. Just checking. I'm making sure y'all still get cigarettes, on that coast. So
It's at 9 p.m., not 8 p.m. My mistake. Thank you, Kimberly.
But then on the other side, right? Like Kyle's kind of in the middle, and then Ian's like like Mr. Fitness and like super healthy and all that stuff. But we're gonna be talking about the origin of Maha on this first one, and we have just a lineup of an incredible guest for the next episodes. Right, like between me, Kyle, and Ian, there's really not anybody in the world we don't have access to, and we felt like it was probably time for us to utilize it a little better than we have been. And probably doesn't hurt to have Ian Carroll. I'm sure, like, if I'm gonna do something, it's gotta have the big hook. Ian's a fucking stud. So what can I say?
What do you say about that, Des?
I call bullshit on the whole idea that like Ian's some sort of super health nut and super like fit, because I definitely, and I will hold this till I die because it's on video. I outlasted him in a hang test. So, I'm just saying he could do better.
Well, that's what it's there for. That's what the podcast is for. It's to help people do better.
It's very exciting what they're doing, but I was surprised when they were talking about health. Dustin, that kind of shocked me. I was like, health? What the hell do the three of you guys know about health?
Oh, I mean, we know everything not to do, and I believe it was Einstein who said that, like, once you fail 500 times, then you're closer. That's an exact quote.
I mean, it would almost be like if I were trying to find meth and I would say, let me go to Gary Cardone. Maybe he knows the hookup. Similar scenario.
Yeah. Gary, tell us a little bit about, so how does meth work exactly? Like, what's the cooking process of that? That's
And this is a space that is not reflected upon the co-host. So
Gary, hey Gary,
of all the people you go on stage to, you go to Gary for that question. Like,
there's no more Breaking Bad. All you got to do is go to Walgreens or CVS to get your meth.
Dude, I got a great idea, Gary. Me, you, and Ryan are going to start a podcast. It's going to go and it's going to launch at the same time as Dustin's, and ours is going to be about drug use, drug paraphernalia, and how to stimulate your mind in ways that are still illegal in this country.
You want to know something really crazy about that, Mike and Gary, is that would actually be successful in this current day and age. That would actually be a successful podcast.
We could have then one day after we start ragging each other, we could have like the three of us on one side, Dustin and his crew on the other side, and we could literally have a 6-screen podcast where we're just going after it, baby. You know what I'm saying? Maybe get Destiny or.
The problem is, Mike, we can't really have Ryan because he's going to want to use Facebook.
No, that's true.
No, you guys are sons of bitches.
Look,
I don't think we'll get away with promoting meth on Facebook. I think we're only limited to X for that. So
listen, my mom went out with her lady friends today. Now they're all in their late 80s, and they had just a wonderful time eating, going out, and hanging out together, and just enjoying each other. I'll post a picture in a little while. It's incredible. If you want to, you don't have to go to Facebook to see it. I'll post it, but Facebook does serve some purposes, and I want everybody to know that my mother and all her church friends are engaging in the evil of Facebook. So
the only reason why I personally use Facebook is to keep up on whose birthday is coming up. I don't know if you guys do that. That's the only reason why I personally use it, beyond the fact of my people posting crap on there. I don't know when any of y'all's birthdays are unless it comes up as a notification in my email through Facebook.
Wait a minute. How many followers do you have?
Mike's is July
Facebook,
29th.
I think it's like, what, 650,000, I think, on Facebook.
And all you look at his birthdays?
Did Mike
No. What I'm saying
That's
is
the one thing I don't
you
look
can
at on
operate a
Facebook.
personal profile on Facebook, is what I'm saying. You can have a personal profile and then you can create a page.
I hate going to people I graduated high school with, like however long ago it was, and be like, hey, man, happy birthday. Good to see you. Oh, my God. I hope you're doing well. How's the family? It's good to talk to you. Happy birthday. Emoji. And I'm like, I don't even remember who that. Oh, that was the wrong person. That
I mean, that's
like,
what
I don't
I'm
even remember who
saying,
that person
Mike.
was.
It's all BS like that. The app is like totally useless unless you're just trying to catch up or like put something out there for your grandma to see.
Yeah, I try to
all-
look away from the birthdays. Actually, I'm like, oh no, look away. Then I want to. Oh crap! Did they say happy birthday to me? I don't think they did. Screw them. So
Can I just point out for a second that Mike just pulled a. Speaking of methamphetamine, my mother and her church friends were posting pictures today. I don't know if anybody else caught that.
that's their gang. It's a gang. Okay, look, they're a gang. You're gonna freaking if you're gonna
They're really selling meth.
if you're gonna launder it, you launder it through the church, bro. Tax free. You're talking about pure, clean, liquid income, baby. Clean.
Money.
Clean. You invest that into some AI agents, boy. You know what I'm saying? All of a sudden, you got Dustin's group talking to my mom and her little ladybug friends. We might have something working.
Why do I feel like all of a sudden now Grant, myself, Mike, Destiny, we're all now under investigation by the FBI for talking about meth?
We already have
I've
been.
been here. It's
Already
fine.
been there.
Yeah, I just have a feeling we're there. Yeah.
The moment Gary starts talking about blowing up other countries, it's all recorded. It's fun.
How you like that $3 billion market cap, Mike?
I'm loving it. I'm loving it. I'm feeling good. I think we're about to see some incredible gains, guys. If y'all have not got into the stock, if y'all haven't got into crypto and Bitcoin and some of these, I'm telling you, follow freaking Dustin. Get on, ride his coattails on some of these things. It's gonna be an explosive ride. And let me just say this one thing before, and we'll get back on track here about because I want to talk about Greenland just a little bit. But Gary, I want to ask Gary a question, and Dustin, you can chime in here on this as well. What I don't understand is I'm listening to these people talk about charts and fundamentals all the time. And yet we are at a point where it's so unique, right? Bitcoin itself is unique, but we're at a time where nobody, like, think about this, Dustin, think about back in the whole, exit liquidity of 21, right? So we never, ever conceived, nobody ever brought up the talk of, once we get Bitcoin on the balance sheets of the United States of America, that's really going to kick off a little moonshot. Like, nobody ever conceived of that thought 3 years ago. Nobody even thought of it. And now it might spur an entire domino effect around the world for people to have to buy Bitcoin. They can't just print Bitcoin. They have to actually buy it off exchanges from chumps like me, And so how can we possibly say that we're going to have a bull run, 80% retraction, another bull run for 80%? That nothing in my body does that compute with. That this is just going to be another cycle. I don't get it. What do you think?
So, technical analysis is something that is often you want to talk about LARPs. 99% of people talk about, and by the way, any technical analysis on any product that does not have a long history and a shit ton of regular volume is absolute nonsense. I do think that there is some good technical analysis on Bitcoin. But I actually think that the cycle is going to relatively hold. I think Gary's I think me and Gary are very similar. I think we have a spike. I think it goes higher than people expect, but I've got us at 250, 300 with a full comeback down to 70 or 80. And the reason is not because there's new buyers and everything, but ultimately price goes up. People take profits, price comes down, right? Reaches a certain point, and then people buy it back up. And the fundamentals make it that way, regardless of where it is. I think Bitcoin's going to astronomical numbers and crypto along with it. I've been trying to tell people I think Solana and Sol is the largest of the market cap tokens, with the largest amount of upside because of all of the volume and activity on it. And I still play the charts every day. I have a great TA guy in my group who watches everything and keeps us up to date. But all of us think that Solana is poised for a massive breakout whenever Bitcoin starts doing its thing. So get yourself some Sol and buckle up. American companies are going to do phenomenal under Donald Trump. And so, like, took big risks, launched a token, launched a project in America, but American companies under Donald Trump are about to reap a massive reward. And I think Solana and the Solana Foundation are going to make a massive charge upwards. Put your savings in Bitcoin.
I would agree with that, Dustin. That's really important to bring up. Like, we got to make sure we preface everything with not saying we're giving financial advice. I don't want us to get sued, but Sol has been doing very, very well. In fact, I have a group of friends. We do a crypto trading group, and I've been throwing about $500 a week on Solana, and it's been doing very, very well. But that's not financial advice for people. You got to preface it with that because you don't want to get sued, right? But yeah, that's really good advice.
Has there ever been somebody who's going to get sued and they're like, oh, they said not financial advice, I can't do it now?
Well, there's dumbasses on the internet, Dustin. That's all we have to, you just have to preface it.
Yeah, now listen, never in the... Actually, everything I say is financial and life and medical advice, and not listening to it will cause your ruin and damnation.
Dustin wants to go to jail.
We all want to go to jail. Screw it. All right, guys, let's get a couple of these hands down at the bottom right. Make sure you help repost this room. Say something nice and say something how I'm pretty and stuff like that. And also mention Destiny. And also give a little shout out to my boy Hitch Slap, the world's greatest space host of all time. Hitch, just want to check in with you real fast. How you doing, brother? You all right?
I'm doing absolutely great. And I want to reiterate what you said about Gary Cardone's Sunday Spaces. I go in there and listen, and I really enjoy them. Getting in the comments, other people are commenting as well. So Sunday Spaces, Sunday Church with Gary, absolutely brilliant. I really enjoy that. And one thing just briefly about the fires and things like that, it's really amazing to me that, all around the world, progressive states are having the same problem. We have the exact same problem in Australia where there's all these rules and regulations about not being allowed to clear anything. You can't cut down trees in a certain area. You can't do anything. And then when there's all these fires, everybody just blames climate change. Like I was hearing someone saying earlier. Maybe it is having an impact, but the policies are also having an impact. So listening to you guys talk, I'm just thinking the same nonsense happening in California, happening in Australia, happening everywhere. I don't know what it is, but yeah, I was really thinking about that as you were talking. We really need to, people need to really get their heads on straight and think about basic common sense policies. I mean, this is. I'm only 117 IQ, and even I know the answer. So we get some smart people in there, higher IQ people in there. And also, I see we got Meta, just very brief, I see we got Meta on stage. I highly recommend everybody follow him as well. He's got a podcast. He does great interviews. And when I did the Charles Murray interview, which is in my highlights, he was instrumental. I only had 2 days to prep for it, and I couldn't have done it without him. So I'm sure we'll throw to him at some point. But yeah, back to you, Mike. I just think there's policies, again, California, Australia, it's the same thing over and over. It's not that hard. Basic common sense understanding. I'll quote Gary. I hope he doesn't mind. Gary said something to the effect of, when I was hosting one of his spaces, he said, sometimes people are more interested in doing good, in looking. So I'll say it again. Sometimes people are more interested in looking good rather than doing good. And then Gary said, I'm interested in doing good, not looking good. And I think that's a lot of the stuff going on with the, clearing policies and don't do that. They make people feel better. Oh, we're going to save some ground nesting rat or something like this, but everything's going to burn down because we won't allow you to clear a log out of the forest. So that really stuck out in my mind. The politicians are California, etc. They're interested in looking good, but they don't want to make the hard decisions to actually do good. What do you reckon, Mike?
Agree with you. It's like Gary says, do something nice for somebody and don't tell anybody about it. That's very antithetical against how we believe. Like, we want people to know how good we are because that's who we love the most is ourselves. So yeah. And by the way, you guys, when you go to Hitch Slap's space, when you go up to his page, rather, you'll see on there Hitch Slap University. Make sure you join that community. Great people, love being in there. It's fantastic. I'm not sure if Destiny's in there yet, but until she gets in there, it should be a great space. So once she joins, not saying you have to stay, but give it a shot. She has said a couple things before that are kind of interesting. Go.
Thank you, brother. And I see you've got I just put in the Jumbo your subscriptions and your community as well. So people should go up to Jumbo, check it out. I'm in your community as well, so I've been enjoying what's going on. But yeah, I'm really happy to be here. This is always every week. I look forward to it. So yeah, let's go.
Appreciate that, brother. Let's get to some of these hands. And by the way, Des, I'm coming to you next, but I just want to say this and that, man. Jeep, Mary Kay, we see you guys down there, red-handed. Got you. My boy Alpha Warrior, the best-looking human being on the planet, is down there. He's right next to Honey Badger, who is not a bad-looking chick herself. I have to say that. So they're both in the room. Alpha's bicep, I can see it all the way. Let me see. Hold on. I can see it all the way from back over here. It's incredible. It's in a profile picture. I can see it. It's sick. But yeah, we're gonna come to you guys. Gonna go to Freemason the Meta.
His literal profile picture. That's it.
Yeah, it's true. It's literally. It looks like a face. Like if you look at it from a distance, it looks like his face. It's not. It's just a giant freaking bicep with indentions. So
it's the size of two Asian. It's the size of two Asian women's heads.
Yes, it is.
It's actually been measured against two Japanese women. Can confirm.
Yes, and they're not small. These are normal sized Asian women.
You always go on 5-minute tangents about men's biceps, or
he does. He freaking does.
Alpha's bicep.
When he gets into his homo mode, yes,
no
ma'am,
hashtag no homo. Hashtag a little homo.
Yo,
As long as you say
yo,
hashtag
yo,
no
homo.
it's no homo.
Yes, that's true. Go ahead, Gary. Des, I'm coming to you next. Go ahead, Gary. What's
Wait,
up?
Mike, was that a picture of you today holding the sign that said, "I'll do anything for money, but no gay shit"? Was that you begging?
Well, apparently, what you just said, that sign would not be true. So obviously, it couldn't have been me.
Gay shit. I knew it.
Like I'm just Alpha Warrior. That's it. Probably
are
pass
you
out.
calling for your honey now to come back you up?
I'm saying that if he asked me to go on a cold plunge with him, I'd probably go in there and see what it's like. That's it. That's all I'm saying. No risk there. It's freaking freezing cold.
Yeah, you go in for a little cold plunge, wouldn't you?
Even Gary Cardone,
Hey,
Gary Cardone ain't gonna be working in a cold plunge. Let me just tell you that right now. I was in the shower.
I ain't getting in a cold plunge.
I ain't doing it either.
I think that's the dumbest thing I've ever heard of in my life.
That'd be the
and my
last
doctor
thing
agrees
I
with
think
me.
Be fucking stupid.
Hey, Mike, I just wanted to know that if you have seen my contribution, I just subscribed to you while I'm driving down the road.
Are you?
So I feel honored to be a member of your club.
Well, I appreciate that.
I think everybody should do that. Yeah, bro. It's a good value. $1?
Yeah, it's 99 cents rounded up. That's what I like to say.
It's the only dollar club that exists in the United States today.
Gary,
it's a real dollar club.
I'm still the dollar store.
Hitch Slap's intro, he said that Mike had 99 problems, but a subscription wasn't one. That was pretty good.
That wasn't bad. Hitch Slap's pretty. He has a 117 IQ. He comes up with that stuff off the top of his head.
Mike's got a mile high club.
Yeah, I think he's a little bit smarter than his comedy skills, though.
I just want to go on the record
I take a mile high club.
that the second Mike comes up with OnlyFans, I'm canceling my subscriptions to the rest of you guys and investing it in that. So just letting everybody know ahead of time.
Let's go. I'm doing this subscription thing. It's a trial run. And I'll be doing my first subscription space here pretty soon. It might be this Friday night. So that's when we get...
Are you guys doing it from the cold plunge holding hands?
We damn well might, Jennifer. We damn well might, young lady. Watch your
For the
tone.
record, if you're doing it for survival and heat, it's
That's
not
right.
gay.
It's not. It's totally not. You're just trying to survive.
Glad to know you guys are experts in this. Thanks for educating
This is all This is theoretical, Jen. Okay, please. We're exploring. This is scientific. We're trying to talk like
Sounds
professionals
like you're
here.
exploring.
And we're trying to talk like professionals, and you're bringing us down to a lower level. We don't enjoy that.
I can't help my IQ's higher.
That's okay.
Hey, can I get this thing back on
Yes,
track?
you can, Gary.
So I want to ask Dustin something if he's still in the room. Dustin, my view is I want to see the Epstein paper. I want to see the Diddy papers. I need to see everything. Otherwise, I know what's going to happen, right? This is just going to be a complete fucking bullshit. Are you there? And is everybody there? Like, we need to see everything, guys.
100% with you. And I am encouraged. I think it starts with the assassination files, the Epstein files. I think the Diddy files, we have to watch that come out in real time. We have to make sure the investigations. but it's more than that. We need transparency, but when the transparency comes, I have a feeling that the reason that they're afraid to not be transparent is because people did a lot of really evil shit and did not get punished for it. And there was no justice. And so I saw today that Biden publicly commented that he's considering giving Anthony Fauci a preemptive pardon. I think that.
Of course he will, dude. Guarantee he's going to do that, bro.
Yep.
Or they shoot him. They got Fauci is a problem, dude.
I mean,
we're gonna see a lot of that.
The critical question to ask is, why do you even need a pardon if you're not guilty? That's the critical question here. Why do you need a pardon if you're not guilty?
That's the answer, though, and that's to Gary's question, which is, until we just get transparency, if this is oh, look, here's 1 or 2 pages and it's 70% redacted bullshit, we don't have the ability to make, we know that there's enough smoke, there's enough guilt, it's obvious to so many of us that they can't claim that, oh, y'all, we're going to be shocked to learn that the government was involved in the assassination of Martin Luther King and of JFK. And so the question becomes, we need to demand to see it all. And that's what I was saying about Facebook earlier too, which is until we get some transparency, if he had released the Facebook files, and we were now, instead of doing this space, we were doing like we did with the Twitter files, and we were talking to Mike Schellenberger and Matt Taibbi, and we were going over the information that was presented. And I might look at his conversion a little differently. Fake or half-assed releases are just distractions and cover-ups. We have to demand the whole thing. I agree with you.
Go ahead, Daz. Do you want to jump in there?
Yeah. What?
I said, did you want to jump?
Well,
did you want to jump in there? I think it might have glitched a little bit right there.
Call hands.
Oh yeah, go ahead.
We got Zach's been waiting a long time, and then we got Freemason and Meta. So go ahead, Zachary. How are you doing tonight?
Did okay. I have 5,000 followers on Facebook, and they took it away about 2 days after that. And when you buy all these countries, need to. They make a big investment right there. Thank you.
Appreciate that, Zach. I love Zachary. Zach comes up, says what he's got to say, doesn't waste any time. I love that, brother. I appreciate that, Zachary. Yeah, I don't know about. Look, I think I have on YouTube. I think I have maybe 16,000, something like that on YouTube, and I don't even make content over there anymore. I think X is the place to be. I think this is where I wanted to go. And the other day I put a video out. I think it's pinned in my profile right now. It's the first one of 2025, and just kind of get my whole setup over here done. But I think it was maybe 8,000 to 9,000 people viewed it over a period of a couple of days or something like that. That's hard to get that on any kind of, outside of a short. It's hard to get that, on YouTube, especially if you do anything with any kind of length. Obviously brevity is what people want to see. But if you do anything where you want to put any kind of effort into it, especially if you do the editing yourself and all that, you just can't get the number of eyes over there unless you have a gigantic account. So X, your return on your investment on X is just it's too good to pass up, to be honest with you. And YouTube too. I mean, not YouTube, but TikTok. I'm not a TikTok. I don't feel it. I don't know. I don't know. It's just not me. I don't know why I watch some of the things over there that I do, and I don't ever really go over there. But it's just not my style. Go ahead, Des.
I was just saying, me neither. I think it's, I'm not saying I'm as ancient as you, but it's just not.
Of course not.
Our generation. That's a loose term. Our generations. It's just not our thing. I'm just swipe. I'm not for it. I'm not. Forget it.
It feels yucky, and I know that's probably, for lack of a better word, it just feels kind of yucky to just go over there and just swipe. It's like, I'm not like, at least on X.
I think YouTube too, Mike. I mean, this is kind of one of those things technologically advancement conversation, but they never advance, right? Like YouTube, they're good at being a platform to host like long form videos. And I think that's what people mainly go there for. I mean, I hate clicking a link on Facebook or X to go to YouTube, but if I do, it's for a long form video.
Exactly.
And that's,
and it's also an
that's their
evergreen
problem.
video.
They don't know how to evolve from that. And they've done a terrible job at promoting live stream content and their shorts, which they're reels, basically their shorts or whatever they call them, 30 seconds a minute videos. They're garbage. They just do not do a good job of promoting it. And so that's their failure.
Yeah, it is, Ryan. And let me ask you this real fast. And I'm coming to you next, Freemason. Yeah, the shorts, I've had a few shorts on that have hit a few million, right? And that kind of got me to the level that you needed to be at. But yeah, most of them are kind of garbagey. That's not really their forte. The thing about YouTube that they have is their UI, as far as the way that they deliver content to you, is pretty good. I hope one day X is able to set something up where we can see thumbnails of videos to choose from, and it works out like that. But I do like the fact that YouTube is evergreen, right? Every now and then you have a freaking video that pops up on YouTube that was made, you look down at the date, it was 17, 14, 15 years ago, and it's got like 15 million views or whatever it is. But it's but it might be how to fix a refrigerator.
That's what I like about it too.
Exactly.
That's the critical thing. It's really good for the long form old content. Like that's where all of us used to go to if we wanted to watch a video. The thing with YouTube now is that they just do not promote or have a platform set up to where you want to go to their app and watch a video that's 30 seconds to a minute long.
Ryan, you know why? You know why, Ryan?
Go ahead.
It is set up that way. The setup, look, if I send you $100, you know how much Google keeps? YouTube? $33.
Yeah,
now the point I'm trying to make,
50. Yeah.
Yeah, well, that's 100x of what Visa and MasterCard charge, and they're going to get their eyeballs ripped out of their head by Trump. So let's think about this. What we're complaining about is Google has not innovated. Why would they innovate when they have a monopoly, my friend? See, that's the problem. These companies need to be broken up. Innovation occurs when they're competing fiercely with each other. Open market, transparent, fucking fight it out, deliver the best fucking quality service, the greatest streaming capability, but you can't. Not one human being here could go build a platform today and compete with these companies. They would destroy you. They have non-competes. They wouldn't even allow their best people to come work for you, which is part of their game.
That's a real. I think that's the best point that's been made, honestly, on this argument in a long time. I've thought about it, but I never thought that maybe we could replace it because we saw how hard it was to build Truth Social, right? Trump's app. And that was not easy. And even then they have issues with retention and whatnot. So that's a really good point. It's solid. There's really no competition. You have X, you have Facebook, which is effectively Meta, which controls Instagram. And then you have Truth Social. And then you have sort of all these other apps out there that exist, but like Threads for Facebook. What's this one? Blue Sky or whatever. Nobody uses Blue Sky. I mean, except, if you don't agree with us, you use Blue Sky. I made an account on there just so I wasn't getting impersonated, but I look on that app all the time and it's just like this cry chamber of people who are upset that they lost the election. So, I mean, there's a limitless amount of options where you can get into what I consider to be the free square of free speech. And those apps are what you would say, the Facebook, the Meta, Instagram, the X. Those are the places for it. So,
let me ask you. But see, here's the thing. Also, though, is if you go to YouTube and you want to talk about Greenland, which we're about to, if you want to talk about Greenland and Canada, guess what? You don't get to talk to anybody about it. You get to watch a video about it, and you can leave a comment about it that you know good and well that the person who made that video is never going to respond to. They might get lucky and get a thumbs up because they just, if you get the little YouTube studio thing, a lot of times you see that in your algorithm and you just pop, right? So you might get a thumbs up.
Mike, it's just a staff member doing that, by the way.
Exactly.
Right?
Yeah,
yep.
Exactly. So, you don't get the interaction here. We get on spaces, we get on each other's links, we go on each other's pages, we're in each other's communities, and we have all this interaction. Whereas if you like people, I can go to wherever you are and jump into space with you, come up on a panel and speak with you, to you, and receive feedback from you. Like, where do you get that from anywhere else?
But I think the part you're missing, right, is that the clientele of Facebook, and probably because like we were all on Facebook from the very beginning, right, most of us, is that the clientele of Facebook is really old now, right? And they're not tech savvy and they don't know how to really use other platforms, right? So you have like almost like a captured audience that just doesn't want to, because like older people don't like change, right? And they really don't like new tech fangle dangle stuff, right? Like they will always just use Facebook because that's what they're comfortable with. And that's what they've been using from the beginning. Because I think there was a very short window of educating people into the technological era that like, if you didn't get in, you're not getting in now. And if you got in right at the beginning and you learned how to use Facebook when you were younger, now that you're much older, like it's really hard to get people off of Facebook.
Yeah, I agree with that. And the fact is if you get away from Facebook and you go back, you realize that your mom, who knows how to work it, now it's so complicated to me now. I can't even find out what the hell is on the screen in Facebook. Like it's like where are my photos at? Like where do I go find out where people are? Add.
It's not even just the ads. They've made it to where the platform, it's like your main screen, it's updated, it looks good, it's like 2024 version or whatever, but then you go to the back ends, you go to your settings, you go to anything that has to do with say monetization or manage your admins on your page, it's all outdated. Everything on there in the back end is outdated, and I have no clue why they've not updated it yet. But I agree with Gary's point, and I think it's very important to bring up. I mean, we shouldn't tacitly just promote these platforms, but my sort of dilemma is that I have an email list of about 60,000 people on Facebook who use Facebook just solely. Like these are people who follow me and they allowed me to have their email. And so, I mean, that's a nest I have to deal with. But I mean, it's a common trend. It's like, do we want to be on Facebook? No, I think a lot of us don't. It's outdated. It feels like you're running Windows XP when you're on it. It's just garbage. And so, I mean, I think that at the end of the day, it's like we all want to get off there, but it's you got this older generation on there that are still very important people. I do not want to discount those people. And I think that's what a lot of us who have large pages, I mean, you're talking about the Trump campaign with, numerous pages on there with, a following of probably over 100 million easily. And they want to keep that data and they want to keep posting to those people because there's an audience there. I think the one thing that we should do, though, is demand that Section 230 be reformed to hold social media companies account for what happens on their platform when it comes to certain abuses, especially when we saw Trump got banned, right, back in 2021. So, I mean, these are things we've got to talk about. We've got to hold these companies accountable because, I mean, it's like this has become the public square, right? If you're not in your living room talking to your mom or your grandfather, or you're not at your job, you're on the internet, right? And so we have to have accountability. And I think that we deserve that justice, especially from companies like Facebook, like Meta, who have sold our data. And you guys know this, Cambridge Analytica, they sold our data for political purposes. And they use that data to create data points to where, imagine yourself in a mirror. and I'm looking at you and I'm a computer, and your brain, right? We go into your mind and we figure out, oh, do you like the NRA? Okay, that's cool. We'll check that off. Oh, do you shop at Walmart? We'll check that off. Will we use credit card data that we, were able to get a hold of?
There's no doubt.
They do that.
There's no doubt that
that's what they do, and I mean that's
what they've done.
That's what they've done, and we have to hold them accountable. You can't just tacitly ignore that.
No, that's true. I mean? You can't.
Sorry,
but the thing is, though,
tangent there. But I've been talking about Cambridge Analytica last 3 days with friends, and I did like 2 interviews on it. So I've been heated about it.
Yeah, but Ryan, in all fairness, and this is something that Dustin points out about Cambridge, right? Is that data was their data 100%, but is it even near anywhere close to the data that these companies have available to them today? Like,
Jennifer, the data that they had access to, I mean, I don't know if you guys even know this. I mean, I don't know. We had a briefing on this.
Like we were working.
They knew everything you were buying. They knew everything you were buying. They knew your location data to where you spend your most time. They knew everything. So if you had a Facebook account, they basically knew everything about you, from where you slept to where you shopped. It was a nightmare dealing with that. But I don't want that to happen again. And that's why I respect Elon buying this platform, because we got reaffirmations when I was there in San Francisco with him and his team that they're never going to repeat that action. So I'm really confident here. Hearing it from a CEO, hearing it from senior executives, I think we're safe on X.
I agree with that.
Well, the thing that I don't think people understand is the overwhelming nature. If somebody like me can get a hold of data that tells me everything you buy, everything you subscribe to, everything you follow, who you interact with, in a way that like is profilable, imagine what Google has. And they often will know you better than you know yourself. And what I mean by that is eye tracking search and like how long you linger, right? Like if you're in denial, I don't know about, some male on male stuff. This isn't directed at any 2 particular individuals on stage, Mike and Alpha, right?
Ooh,
but like
God.
They might know you are gay even before you have personally been willing to accept you're gay, or that you're like facing a breakup because of certain profiles that you're lingering over.
I heard him, Gary.
I'm not even joking. In some ways, these algorithms and like just large data sets and digital twins provide more information about us than most of us even have about ourselves. It's fucking terrifying.
Yeah, it's incredible. It is a lot. And I remember you talking about that list that you had a while back, Dustin. If you can acquire something that's that, something of that size, yeah. And Gary's right though. Why change anything? If you're the beast in the room, why do you need to change anything? Nobody can stop me. So until you can stop me, I'm just going to keep doing something that absolutely works. So let's get to a couple of these hands real fast, and then we got a little extravaganza we're going to be posting up there where everybody's going to go and take care of something for me. I'll tell you about that in just a couple minutes. Freemason, jump in there, brother. How you doing?
Yo, that was the hardest $100,000 I ever earned on that requisition call, man. New York City construction is terrible. This job I was on, the developer went under, so the bank brought in a new sponsor. I had to open up another DBA. New York State unemployment insurance and workman's comp is $300,000-400,000 a year. So just to squeeze to get $100K just to stay active was crazy. So I had to take that call. I just want to say, I think we're compromised. I don't care what platform it is, even X. They know everything. They're data mining. Everything we do. Even Dustin just pointed out about Google, and someone just spoke, I think it was Ryan, about Facebook. They have all the data, right? So they're going to just tell us what we want to hear, right? Not what we have to hear. And at the end of the day, That's why a guy like Zuckerberg is going to walk scot-free, because he can transfer anything and any info he has over to the new agenda. And let's keep in mind, these three-letter agencies, that's who's running the show. That's who's running the gambit. At the end of the day, you know, everybody just catering to Trump now, and a lot of people that look like they might have blended and camouflaged into our movement, really, they're just playing the art of war in hopes that we lose in 2028. That's why the most important fundamental thing is building the bridge for J.D. Vance in 2028. We have to accept it. There's going to have to be some compromise here, no matter how we look at it, right? At the end of the day, everybody's an expert, if you will, right? So when he's talking about Greenland, even though it might sound like it's a joke, the reality is we need them. It's detrimental to this hemisphere's success. And I made a post yesterday. Back in 1999 to 2006, I was part of a think tank. I won't name what it was, but they talked about the Ameridollar and how this hemisphere would become one: Canada, United States, South America. And I just find it funny that here you have Bitcoin, which looks a lot like what maybe could be the Amero. The problem with that is we don't know who the fuck this Satoshi guy is. We don't know. Maybe it was even our three-letter agencies that made this. We don't know. But I think it will be telling if we see CBDC come out under the guise of the United States, which of course would be backed by something. That was the main thing with the Amero, is what is it backed by? And now you have digital currency. It doesn't matter what it's backed by. The people buying it are the consumer. So the more we put into it creates this vacuum. Let me just surmise 1 second. Just imagine, I mean, I think everyone here would agree tomorrow morning, you're not going to have, 4 million new millionaires overnight because they struck gold on Bitcoin, right? I'm not down talking it. I own some myself. I've sold some. I have 4 left. And that said, I think that it's a deadly game if it's not us. And let's say it's a China or a Russia. I think that could have been the plan from the very beginning, to get everybody to bite into it, because we all want to be experts and we all want to be, business owners. Nobody wants to work anymore. I mean, we can't even keep people in the construction field, and everybody complains why the migrants take the work away. But the fact is that some of these people that come here outwork pound for pound even my union guys. I'm lucky to get 3 hours of work out of an iron worker from Local 40, right? And that's if they're not wasted by noon. So forget about the OSHA problems right off the bat there. So I think what we have to do is accept that Trump's going to have an agenda. A lot of it's going to be catered towards 2028. I think that you're going to see a militarized border, 100%, where they're going to use Delta Force and they're going to use Green Beret type of tactics against the cartels, because the number one thing we have to do is stem off the flow of China's drug. All the raw powders come from China. The number one manufacturing that has to come back to this country is pharmaceuticals immediately. Now, I know we're all joking about these drones here and there. Some of them got to be real. It's probably us. Maybe it's a little bit of China. I find it odd that they're buying up this farmland next to all these military bases. But having said that, just imagine for 1 second if a 100-pound balloon dropped over New Jersey full of fentanyl, and you'd have probably 10 million dead people overnight. It's a very real threat. The fact that we haven't learned anything from 9/11, well, we have. They're acting like they haven't. The clandestine arm of the United States is operating without anybody stopping them, all right? So when we talk about, I saw Kash Patel talk about, the JFK files, and he said to Sean Ryan, it's ready to come out, but the thing is that everything we're questioning is pretty much what we know already. It's all the other things that they can't let us know. So we have to prepare ourselves. We're not going to see 5 million immigrants get riled up on a train. Forget about the optics. We're not going to see them get pushed. You're lucky if you get 500,000 people out in 4 years. We have to accept that right now, and let ICE do their job. We don't need to see it. I don't need to see fucking camps where the left is like, oh, look what he's doing now. I don't want to see none of that shit. Just do your fucking jobs. Do it on the DL. Fix the border. Control the problems. Let us know that the fentanyl problem's going away. And at the end of the day, we got to, cater to the new regime of 2028, because Trump can only serve 1 term. So with JD winning is like, the 8 years of what a 2-term president would win, right? And last but not least, obvious what happened here was we were in fucking Ukraine in 2010 with Paul Begala. I've said this 100 times on Spaces. They hands down thought Hillary was going to win. They churned out a factory. You got all these fucking underground fucking bird flu and COVID-19 factories and nuclear weapons running around in Ukraine. We're hip deep in the shit, guys. It's really that simple. But I'll land right there. Thank you, guys.
Thank you, Freemason. And I really appreciate your take, because I know it's not everyone's take. And I am the first person to really hate echo chambers. Whether or not people disagree with each other should not be the problem. Thank you. I really do think you have a lot of great points, especially the idea that, like, you know, I know a lot of people are hoping that we're going to send almost 15, 20 million immigrants. It's not going to happen like that. That it won't. Unfortunately, it won't. We have to be understandable that that's going to be a process that has to be done with some sort of feasibility. I mean, you would cause traffic in every single city in the country. No one would be able to get to work. You'd mess everything up if you try to get them all out one day, kind of thing. It's just not. It's not feasible. They didn't get here in one day. They're not going out in one day. That's just the truth. So, like, absolutely, 100%. Meta, I saw you thumbing down. I feel like you've got an opinion on this. Go right ahead.
Yeah, no, thanks for having me up. Appreciate it. It's good to see Mike and Hitch and Gary and all you guys again. Well, real quick, let me get out my thoughts on the LA fires. I mean, I've written a few notes, so I'll be pretty quick on this. But the first thing I'll say is, I think this whole event should make it abundantly clear to people that the government is pretty much incapable of taking care of people, right? The fires were not responded to fast enough. Insurance got pulled. And so I think you're going to see a lot of people who are losing their house, and, you know, it's going to be really, really tough for them to come back for this. I mean, I was on the ground in North Carolina. I still have a lot of contacts out there, and it was abysmal. The government response, the insurance response, they were not letting people rebuild their homes that had been there for, you know, centuries, because now the floodplain had moved, right? And they were stopping the Amish from building like tiny homes and all of this stuff. It's just absolutely insane to me, the level of mismanagement. And personally, I think that this is all because the government is corrupt. It's been looted. It's just tons of incompetent people. And so all of these services, all of these systems that were in place to, you know, protect people and to serve them and to take care of them are just completely non-functioning, right? All of these DEI hires, you have this, you know, lesbian woman who's running the, you know, the fire department, and now, you know, she's leading it, and she's just, you know, beating the DEI inclusion drum. It's nothing to do with actually fighting fires or doing any of these things for these people. It's all about, you know, political favors, political posturing. There's huge budget cuts across the board. There were millions and millions of dollars in funding to these fire departments. And then you have lack of water in the area due to very silly environmental concerns. I think there's huge potential to bring in a lot of water, but they don't do it because there's some fish or something like that they have to protect. It's like, so it's just an absolutely abysmal situation. And I think that people have every right to be furious at the government for this. I think, you know, I'm a big person about not just talking about problems, but also offering solutions. And to me, I think the solution should obviously be for people to take a more active role, right? Stop expecting your government to fix all of your problems. I think that was kind of where I was going with the thumbs down earlier, is I am very much not oh, great, Trump's in office now and everything's going to be fine and dandy, and, you know, trust all of these guys to, you know, do everything that's in your bone